What's going on, everyone? So tomorrow, Manchester United versus West Brom. International breaks are finished, thank God. I didn't used to mind internationals too much, but I definitely don't enjoy them anymore. Like, especially when it's non-competitive, really. So I'm glad that Premier League football is back. Obviously, West Brom tomorrow, a team we should be beating, but these are the sort of teams that we struggle against at times because we probably underestimate them, and so we've got quite a few injuries that I'm hearing about. I think some of them might be light injuries, so some of these players might play, but I'm hearing that Shaw's out for about 3 to 4 weeks, they reckon, at minimum. So Tellez is going to be coming in, which is going to be good to see. I've been waiting for him to come back, so I'm excited about that. Bay, I'm not sure what his status is at the moment. I've heard that he's training and he's working hard to get back, but I don't know if he's going to be available tomorrow. So not sure about Bay. Maguire, I'm hearing he's got a bruised foot, but I think it could just be a case of Solskjaer giving him a bit of rest because apparently he missed training. So I think that it could just be a case of just a lot of football time, and he's just giving him a rest. Maybe he's not got a bruise but I think Maguire will start tomorrow, regardless of if he's got a slight knock or whatever. Cavani, I'm hearing, has been training as well. I read that he had a lot of travel time, obviously, with Uruguay, and that he probably is going to be a doubt because of that travel time and stuff. But I think if Martial is still out, I'm not sure what's happening. But I've heard that Martial has trained on his own for France during the break, but not with a whole squad. So I'm not really sure about Martial, if he's fully fit, if he's going to be available. If he's not available, Cavani has to start regardless of if he's worn out. Because otherwise, what's our other options? Like maybe Greenwood. But for me, Greenwood at the moment, if it's true that he's struggling with stuff off the pitch, like mentally and that, and losing his best friend and stuff, like I don't necessarily feel that he should be in the squad at the moment. I don't think he's mentally ready at the moment, if that is true. So we have to be careful with how we monitor Mason at the moment. If he's not, and it's not true, I'll be happy to see him starting or even being on the bench. But if there is any speculation that is true, then we have to be careful with how we go about that. So Cavani, I think they should start him. If Martial's got knocks and stuff, this is the perfect opportunity for Cavani, regardless of if he's tired and international breaks. And because, yes, he might not be at full fitness, but he's had more rest than most of this squad due to the fact that he didn't play for like a year. Do you know what I mean? So Cavani, for me, I would start. Rashford, he missed all the international breaks with his shoulder injury. I don't have any fears that Rashford won't start tomorrow, though. I believe he will be playing. So I don't think Rashford's that much of a concern. Lindelof, I heard that they sort of made him play, or he put himself forward for the Swedish games, and he's got a bad back. So I'm not sure how likely it is that he starts tomorrow. I would put Twanzebe in, just for the fact that if he has got a bad back, you don't want to be risking that as well. So I'm going to go into that's the injuries that I know about. So as I said, I think Rashford will play. Martial will play if he's fit, but I don't know his complete fitness status. If you don't start Martial, Cavani has to start because, as I said, Greenwood's a bit up in the air for me at the moment in terms of just stuff off the pitch, and that would only leave then Igalo, and that's dreadful. So I would start Cavani. Maguire will start definitely, and I think Rashford definitely will as well. It's just the other few that are up in the air a bit. So my lineup that I would go with: De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, I put Twanzebe in for Lindelof, Harry Maguire, Alex Tellez. I still don't agree with us playing two defensive midfielders, but in terms of the lack of options up front and that, because we can't really play two up front with the formation I would usually do with the one defensive midfielder and then the two up front, I've gone back to the two defensive midfielders, even though I don't agree with it, because of lack of options in the attacking third. So I've gone with Fred and Matic in the two defensive holding roles, and I would let Fred wander about more, come sort of more box to box maybe, and have Matic in the holding role a little bit deeper. I'd have Donny on the right, and I would have Bruno in the middle, Rashford on the left, and I'd start Cavani up front if Martial is struggling with fitness and stuff. So that would leave the bench where there's a few that could be brought in and out depending on how their fitness status is. So Henderson, McTominay, James, Mata, Mensah, Lingard and Lindelof. Obviously, I would probably take out Lingard or Lindelof and put Martial on a bench if he's fit enough. I would leave Greenwood out for now just because I'm a bit concerned about where his head is at. So I noticed that there's no Pogba in my team because he is a bad apple and he needs to be gone from the squad totally. So he doesn't even make the squad for me. He's definitely got potential, but he's not showing it, so he doesn't even make the bench because we've given him so many chances and he doesn't prove it any time. So he's not even in the squad for me, Pogba. So as I said, Lingard or Lindelof would come out for Martial for me if he's fit enough. So, but as it stands, that's who I would be on the bench. So Henderson, McTominay, James, Mata, Mensah, Lingard and Lindelof. I think we'll beat West Brom, but it's one of them teams, if we underestimate them, they're going to cause us problems. They went 3-0 up against Chelsea, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? So, if we take them lightly, it's going to come back and bite us. And that's as simple as that. So, I'm going to say 2-1 to us. We should be beating them by more. Hopefully, we get a clean sheet against them, but I think that they might get a goal. But I don't think that they're going to beat us. At most, I think that they can hope for is a draw. I'm going to go 2-1 to us. Kick-off is tomorrow. I'll be back with the lineups, post-match ratings, and just a recap of the game. We should be beating these guys tomorrow, though, as I said. Even with the injury worries that we have, we've got to be striving towards more than getting a draw. Do you know what I mean? We have to be beating these sort of teams. So this is where, for me, though, Donny van de Beek has to start. That's the major thing as well. Nothing really changed, to be honest, in terms of me. It's set for a slight formation change for me, just because of the lack of options in the striking positions. Otherwise, I would go with a one defensive midfielder. I don't like this 2 defensive midfielders, but due to the injuries at the moment, that's what I've gone with. Let me know your thoughts, guys, and what you think about tomorrow and how we get on. I'll be back tomorrow.